You want to be a YouTuber like Quan, hoop like SGA, or play football like Jamar Chase. Success has hardships to it, and one of the biggest hardships is burnout. Burnout is when you're on a path of success. You're on a path to your goals, but you just don't feel like going no more. You feel like you haven't made enough progress as you want to make. Well, in today's video, I'm going to be teaching you how to get over that, and that's something that goes on everybody's path when it comes to trying to be successful, no matter what field you're trying to be great in. So get your popcorn, click that subscribe button, like button, and let's get straight into the video. I'm on RODSKII. Better bitch, I'm fucked. She don't even know me. What's up, YouTube? It's your boy RODSKII, and we back with another video, man. And today's day 4 of the Hard 75 challenge, man. And in today's video, what we're gonna be talking about is how to deal with tiredness while you're going towards your goals and trying to be successful. And this is something that I recently went through too. If you was OG supporter and you saw back then how I wasn't posting on YouTube for like a week or two, it's because I really just got burnt out, but I'm now living in real life terms and what I did to get out that slump and how I'm in that hard 75 that I'm doing right now. So yeah, but with that being said, basically how the video structure is going to go is I'm explaining to you why it's important to get out being tired, which I kind of think it's, you kind of know that already, but I'm just give you a more detailed version of that, and then we're going to get into ways to break it. So stay tuned, click that subscribe button and not miss a video while we're on this 70-day hard 75 about success, man. I guarantee you by the end of this 75 days, you watching this video, you stay all 75 days, you'll become a more successful individual. And all you have to do is click that subscribe button, click the post notifications so you don't miss a beat. But with all that being said, let's get straight into the video. Boom, right? So you click this video. 9 times out of 10, if you click this video, it's either because you're a supporter or you saw the title and it's something relatable to your life currently, And I just want to tell you this. Before I even start yapping on this topic. I want to tell you this. If you're feeling burned out or you're feeling tired of chasing your goals, but you really want that goal, say if your goal was to get a Lamborghini, and say right now you studying about stocks, you're studying about just different investments you can do, and you get burned out of that, I'm telling you, you're on the right path. Getting burned out is a great sign because that shows you are working. Being burnt out is great. Now, when you're feeling burnt out, it's hard to keep going though. So that's why later in the video, we're going to tell you some ways on how you can break that cycle. Break the mindset of you not wanting to do it no more. Because I guarantee you, it's not because you don't want to do it. It's just because you're not seeing the results quick. You know what I'm saying? I hope that makes sense. The fact that you're not seeing results quick, it makes you kind of want to quit. You see, but with all that being said, we're going to get straight into the ways you can break that. 3 ways I did in my life to break that. With YouTube, I personally broke that with clothes a couple years ago. I was feeling burnt out with clothes, but I kept going. I'm keep going. Even though if I do get burnt out, I just got to remember, I have a goal in mind and I need to obtain that goal. So that's one thing. That's a little bonus tip. That's not really a tip in the video, but just remember your goals, man. But with that being said, go click that subscribe button, click that post notifications button, and let's get straight into the video, man. All right, y'all. Tip number 1 is visualize your embarrassment. Now, I know this might seem crazy. You want us to visualize embarrassment, but at the end of the day, we're all human. We all have an ego. We all have a pride. You know what I'm saying? So when you envision yourself like embarrassment of you're not attaining your goals, sometimes it's going to make you work even harder. You feel me? Think about it like this. When you tell somebody you're going to do something, they doubt you or they say, oh, it's not possible. But in your mind, it's possible. You can obtain it, right? You're going to work harder. Human mentality. I don't know. It's like when somebody tells you you can't do something and you believe you're going to do it, you're going to work harder and you're going to do your best to prove yourself right and prove them wrong. You see what I'm saying? So when you start visualizing your embarrassment, you start getting those embarrassment thoughts in your head. And it's something I personally did because I was like, man, I don't know if I want to do this. I kind of want to quit, But I visualized the embarrassment of all these things I was telling people that I was going to accomplish with it, and me just looking like a failure, not only to them, but to myself. And that was one of the biggest switches I had to make. I was like, I can't do this to myself. I can't be an embarrassment to myself. I told these folks I was going to do all this, and I haven't even accomplished it yet, and I'm going to quit. I'm like, no. And a great example of this also happened another time in my life, right? So I remember in class, we went to the library and then we was all checking out books. And then I was like, you know what? I actually want to finish this book. And people was doubting me finishing the book. So you know what I did? I went home and I finished that book. I made sure I finished that book and took notes from that book. Now the book was actually beneficial to me too. But I'm saying that them saying that made me like really focus on, okay, I need to lock in and finish this book. So the embarrassment of people, you can feel that into something positive and feel it into getting your ultimate goal and ultimate success. Now do it for yourself. I'm not telling you don't do it for yourself, but I'm just saying that's a good trick to add to your arsenal. That's how you use pride and ego in the right way. I discussed that a little bit in the last video, but that's how you use it in the right way. But I'm done with yapping on tip number one. Tip number one, that was a great tip. Now let's get into tip number two. All right, y'all, tip number two, no pain, no gain. And it's simple, but I'm gonna try and like detail it to y'all, right? I kind of said this in the intro beginning of the video when I was like, you're gonna have to go through stuff, you know? I'm just being honest. And you know, whenever you're grinding for something, when you have no pain, there's no gain for it. And let me explain that. Like, even with YouTube, sometimes I may look at myself, I'll be like, man, I wish I was bigger than this. Now, of course, YouTube isn't nothing physical, so it's not like I'm beat up by it, but it's like mentally, you know, sometimes you might be beat up by where you're at and where you want to be. But then you have to remember, if there's no pain, there's no gain. So when you have pain in something and you really want it, you got to use that to gain to where you want to be. You see what I'm saying? And even like athletes, you may look at this, like when it comes to bodybuilders, you know, when they first start lifting, you know, of course they're going to be sore, their arms going to be sore, but if their arms aren't sore, that means they're not working. So remember that the more times you feeling, oh, burnt out, I don't know if I want to do this no more, or you doubting yourself, you know, remember to snap out of it, but also know, you know, you've been putting in a little bit of work, you know, you've been grinding and you still not seeing nothing in. Just remember, no pain, no gain, because the only way you can go is up. I'm just being real. And I say that to anybody. Like, a lot of people, when they hear that, they always thinking physical, oh, physical, but it's also mental. Like, YouTube and consecration, it's a mental battle that you're going to have with yourself. You know, and this video not really centered for exactly consecrators, but anybody can use these tips. But I'm just a consecrator, so I'm talking to y'all in that type of perspective. You know what I'm saying? So what I mean is like this. It is a mental battle when it comes to doing content, when it comes to doing clothes. I'm telling you, especially when you see people, your counterparts, you know, some people you may enter with, some people you may know. And so you start hearing people's story and you start hearing, oh, they blew up in 6 months, oh, they blew up in 2 months, and it's taking you a year and some change. You start to really question yourself, is this for me? But you have to remember, if there's no pain, there's no gain. So the amount of pain you're doing, stressing, or I don't even want to say stressing, but the amount of pain you're doing, thinking, wondering if this is not for you, and you know you've been putting in the work, keep putting in that work, bro. Keep putting in that work and maximize that work. Do some more work. You know what I'm saying? Because you want it bad enough, you're going to put even more work in to get your goals and get the success that you want. But with all that being said, that's it with tip number two, man. I hope y'all enjoyed. Let's get right back into tip number three. Tip number three, what I got for y'all is find your why. And this is very important too when it comes to being burnt out and just being tired. Because let me explain this. You know, some people's whys are different. Some people's whys could be, oh, I don't want my mom to work again. Some people's whys could be, oh, I don't want to have this feeling that I did when I was a kid again. Or whys can have any like really meaning to them. But I'm telling you, remember your why. Because I'm going to tell you like this, just plain simple. I'm not going to sugarcoat it or nothing. Say if your why was you never want to see your mama work again. You know what I'm saying? And you're going to say you're doing a consecration, right? Say your goal is you never want to see your mama work again, right? Boom, right? You posting a video and you get 0 views on like 10, 20 straight videos. If you're going to give up on you, give up on your mom, give up on your goal that you wanted for your mom because it's not working in the first 20 videos, then you don't really want it for real. I'm just being honest with you. But once you find your why, it's going to reprogram your mind to be like, okay, boom, I see where I'm at. I see what I've been doing. Now I need to implement some more. Now I need to try some more. Now I need to add something to the madness that I've been doing. Add something to the systems that I've been doing. Add something to the systems I've been doing daily. You know what I'm saying? You got to learn how to add. And when you have your why, you know, and you start feeling in these modes, it's going to automatically make you want to add something to it. See what I'm saying? So finding your why, it's always good to just go back sometimes, you know, just go back to why you're doing what you're doing. You see, some people play sports for a certain person. You know, some people make YouTube videos, like I said, make sure the mom don't work again or anything like that. Your why can be anything, but you just gotta make sure that why is impactful and that why helps bring you back to the top of where you want to be and bring you to the success that you want to be and bring you back to the mindset, more importantly, of how to get there. Because we always want this success, but we need the mindset to get there. We need the systems in place to get there. And, you know, when you start feeling burnt out, I know it's hard. It's going to be times where you want to feel like just crashing the whole system and in the whole system. But I guarantee you, you got to keep on going. But with all that being said, man, that's pretty much it for today's video, man. Y'all go subscribe, hit the post notification for me. I love each and every one of y'all that's been tuning in, each one of y'all that reminding me that you're watching and tuning into these videos, man. I really, really appreciate it. And it's only day 4. We still got 71 days to go, and we're gonna continue to keep going. And I love y'all. Y'all have a great rest of y'all day, and I'll see y'all tomorrow.